Worm, prepare yourself. Damn Saiyan.
Well, honestly, this has been an interesting weekend. The Dragon Ball FighterZ beta has finally dropped, and if you were lucky enough to play the pre-order session, which was on Saturday, then you could probably get a game or two. But now that it's Sunday and subsequently Monday, you really can't find anything. I spent 3 hours last night, got 4 matches. This is awful. In other news this weekend, who would have ever thought that these videos, yeah, that's mine right there, and all these pictures would ever come true? Not me. I would never thought of this. Honestly, one of the biggest questions in all of Dragon Ball Super has finally been answered. This is one of the biggest talking points that people have been talking about since the beginning of last year. Will Vegeta get a new transformation? And yes, he did. And honestly, the only time we ever get this transformation named is by Krillin, and it's Vegeta's Limit Breaker form. So Limit Breaker actually finally happened. Honestly, the Wikipedia page states this is beyond blue. That's right, this Wikipedia page was up hours, maybe like 1 or 2 hours after the episode aired. So kudos to those guys. They're burning the midnight oil to write those 3 or 4 paragraphs. And even though Krillin has named this Limit Breaker transformation essentially, I think Beyond Blue sounds a lot more unique and a lot cooler. With the Limit Breaker form, everyone's kind of thinking it's Ultra Instinct looking, so I like the fact that this looks the way it does, and this transformation has Akira Toriyama written all over it. I mean, he's essentially just, as I stated before, Super Vegeta, I mean, from the Cell Saga. The actual transformation scene I probably could have done a little bit better. A little bit longer. It was kind of quick, although I like the callback to when he was talking to Kaba. That actually really stirred up the feels for me. It actually bubbled him up a little bit. And even though it was cool to see him go toe-to-toe with Jiren along with Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku, I could have thought that it would have been way more interesting to see this transformation by itself and see what its capabilities are by itself in action. We get extremely amazing animation when it comes to Vegeta getting his ass kicked for the majority of an episode, but we get like what, maybe 3 or 4 minutes of Vegeta's new transformation and how it's overwhelming Jiren. Well, Goku and Vegeta are overwhelming Jiren, seeing as how they can't coordinate attacks at the same time, so Jiren really can't read the attacks and he's having trouble with that. So I would have just given a Vegeta a little bit more shine in this episode and let us see exactly what this blue transformation is, because this is essentially the equivalent of Ultra Instinct for Vegeta. He got the power his own way, and even the Grand Priest was saying that he broke through his shell just like Goku did, and he came out like this. So putting this alongside Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku, which we know really isn't effective against Jiren, it just either makes us think that, okay, well, I guess this transformation is as strong as Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, or the fact that Goku can't really go into Ultra Instinct on his own yet, so we're gonna have to push that narrative down a little bit harder. Either way, it's still not too many complaints when it comes to this transformation and the subsequent fight scene. The episode as a whole, though, I mean, I love Goku, guys, but come on, now he's throwing landmines on the ground. That was cool. I like the ability of throwing landmines. It seems similar to the strings kind of that the Pride Trooper had, but again, like, he had this landmine trick, then he had this destructive disc that came through and almost knocked out Jiren. Although that was one of my favorite parts of the whole episode, where he just kind of teleports above Jiren and kicks him right in the face, trying to get him off the arena. That was pretty awesome. But overall, the episode, I mean, Goku really trying his hardest. He really is pulling out a lot of tricks at this point, and I feel like Jiren at this point needs to just kick him off the arena, because he's got the power to do so. But we have a couple more minutes left in the tournament, so we'll see exactly where that goes. The animation quality on itself was so varying in this episode. It went from decent to bad in some areas, and then alright, and then back to decent, and then good. And then I had a problem with when we did finally see Vegeta's transformation alongside Goku's Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. It was like, they were extremely blurry. I don't know what they did there with that animation, but you really couldn't see in great detail the form within the aura, which, I mean, I guess that's the point, but still, I think it would be pretty cool to see that a little bit more clearly. So honestly, for me, I gotta give this episode a 7 out of 10. It was good, don't get me wrong, but it was just weaker than the last episode that came before. But anyway, guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of this episode. Did you guys like the episode? What are some of its faults? What are some of the great parts of the episode that I might have missed in this short review? Drop me a like if you haven't already, and subscribe. This is going to be Dragon Ball Black, signing off.